Financial advice is never free. Hey, I am Chuck the bureaucrat, and recently I've been talking to some of you who are in the process of getting financial advice. And there's this really important factor that you want to take into consideration, but it rarely comes up in conversation. And that is, how does your financial advisor get paid? And this matters for two reasons. First, there's this strange getting to know you period when you first start working with a financial advisor. During this phase, how services will be paid for usually just doesn't come up. The second reason this is important is because the way that a financial advisor gets paid can be less than transparent. I'll explain why in greater detail in a second. But before we go on, remember that I am not a licensed financial advisor. I am just a fellow traveler on this rocky road. I always recommend that you should deal with a reputable financial advisor. And the way that you check that a financial advisor is certified and reputable is by looking them up on their industry registry. That's called BrokerCheck. Here you can see their certifications, what states they're licensed in, and any disciplinary actions against them. It can be very enlightening. Okay, let's go back to how financial advisors get paid, and then we'll talk about why this matters so much. They can get a direct fee from clients. They can get a commission for the sale of products like term life insurance. They can get a management fee associated with your money that they hold in account for you. Or they can just collect a salary from their company. So what? Well, as much as they try to be professional about this, financial advisors have an incentive to recommend decisions that provide them money. So if you've been dealing with an advisor for 3 months and they start really pushing the idea that you should invest in term life insurance, you got to ask yourself, is this because I need term life insurance or because they need a commission from the sale of term life insurance? And look, I'm not saying that these are bad people. I'm just pointing out that their advice to you might be clouded by their own financial needs. Oh, and this is where transparency comes in, because you don't really know how much of your premium is going to be used just to pay that commission. I personally never like not knowing how much I'm paying for the advice I'm getting. The same thing applies with management fees. You might get advice to roll your TSP into some kind of account that is managed by your financial advisor's firm. And the real reason for that might be that the financial advisor wants to get the management fees associated with holding that account. On the upside, management fees are usually more transparent, but once they have your money, they kind of got you. And I have never been able to do a cost-benefit analysis that clearly showed whether or not the advice I was getting was really worth the fees. Personally, I like a fee-based financial advisor. How much does a half hour or an hour of your time cost? Then I can make the determination if I'm getting advice that's actually worth that much money. Now, financial advisors seem to dislike this option. There might be some kind of technical licensing thing going on behind the scenes that I'm just not aware of, but the big issue for the financial advisors is that if they're doing fee-based advice, then it's really easy for the client to just walk away. Personally, I kind of like that, because if they're not providing me value, then I'm going to go somewhere and I don't really care that they're out of an income stream. Now, you will see financial advisors who are paid a salary. As far as I'm concerned, that's just a commission with more steps. The advisor has to generate income to justify that salary, and the costs involved are just that much less transparent to people like us. You know, the people who have to provide that income stream. So look, your military retirement transition is largely a series of financial decisions that you have to make for yourself. Finding the right financial advisor for you and doing that as early as possible, that's going to be important. And at the same time, you want to make sure that you're getting good value for the money that you're paying them. Now, if you want to see why it can be difficult to find a financial advisor when you get really close to your retirement, watch this video.